Sometimes, life doesn't break you to destroy you. It breaks you to rebuild you. And when that happens, you'll never be the same again. A boy who once believed he could conquer anything, until one day he lost it all. But listen carefully, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see your own failures. This isn't a story of success. It's a story of resurrection. So listen carefully. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Dreamed Big. Aarav was just like you, full of dreams and full of hope. He believed that life always rewards hard work. Every morning, he woke up early, stretched his arms toward the sky, and whispered, "One day, I'll make everyone proud." He took a deep breath of the cool morning air, feeling the endless possibilities of the day. Every book he opened felt like a bridge to the life he imagined. Even when others rested or went out to play, Aarav stayed at his desk, scribbling notes, practicing, and perfecting his skills. He believed in people and in destiny. He believed in himself and his own abilities. His friends often said, "Aarav is unstoppable." His teachers smiled at his dedication. Even strangers who saw him walk confidently on the streets felt a spark of inspiration. Aarav's little victories felt like fireworks. Completing a chapter, finishing a practice test, mastering a topic. He celebrated quietly, but with all his heart. And he believed in that, until the day life decided to test him. Chapter 2. The Fall. One result, one failure, and everything changed. Aarav failed his most important exam. The dream he chased for years just disappeared in a single moment. He stared at the paper again and again, hoping it was wrong. But it wasn't. The shock was unbearable. His heart raced, his hands trembled, his mind refused to accept reality. People who once praised him now avoided him. The ones who smiled now looked at him with pity. Some said he was too confident. Some said he was never that smart. And just like that, the boy who once felt unstoppable suddenly felt invisible. At night, he sat near his window, watching the city lights, and whispered softly, "Maybe I'm not good enough." He remembered all the dreams he had once drawn in his notebook, now torn, crumpled, and empty. His phone stopped ringing. His laughter disappeared. His friends' calls went unanswered. And slowly, even his dreams went silent. The streets outside, once full of energy, now seemed distant and cold. The night sky looked darker than before. Every small sound, a car passing, footsteps outside, reminded him that life moved forward, and he was stuck. Chapter 3. The Darkness Within. For weeks, Aarav stayed inside his room, scrolling through social media and comparing himself with everyone. He saw others moving forward, and it hurt. He thought, why does success come so easily to them and not to me? He felt lost. He stopped talking to friends. He stopped believing in his own worth. Every morning, he looked in the mirror and saw nothing. At night, the ceiling became his only friend. He stared at it and asked silently, "Why me? Why now? What did I do wrong?" Sometimes he cried. Sometimes he shouted. Sometimes he just sat there, empty, frozen. His mind replayed every moment of past failure. Every smile he thought was genuine now felt fake. Every compliment he had received now felt meaningless. But one morning, he looked at himself in the mirror, and for the first time, instead of seeing a loser, he saw a fighter who had fallen but was still alive. He took a deep breath and said, "If life can hit me this hard, I can hit back harder." And for the first time, he felt a small spark of hope. Chapter 4. The Turning Point. That day, Aarav didn't decide to win. He decided to change. He picked up his books again, not for marks, but for understanding. He began reading about growth, failure, and mindset. He started going for long walks at 5 a.m. because peace begins before sunrise. Every sunrise reminded him that life offers a new start every day. He would feel the chill of the morning wind, smell the wet earth after rain, and quietly say, "Today, I choose to rise." Each morning, he wrote one line in his notebook, "I will rise again." He began journaling his thoughts, asking himself questions like, what did I learn from this failure? What can I do differently tomorrow? Who am I beyond my mistakes? He didn't wait for motivation. He created it. He didn't beg for support. He became his own support. He practiced small wins every day, making his bed, finishing a chapter, helping a classmate, taking one extra step. He celebrated every little victory. because these small steps were leading to something bigger. He also reached out to a teacher who had quietly encouraged him years ago. The teacher said, "Aarav, falling is not shame. Not standing back up, that is." Those words struck him deep. They lit a fire inside him that nothing could extinguish. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And something magical began to happen. His pain started turning into power. Chapter 5: The Rise. Aarav began helping others, students who had failed like him. He told them, "You're not broken, you're just being rebuilt." His voice carried the weight of experience. His scars became his story, and slowly, he became a light for others lost in the dark. He started giving talks, writing notes, and sharing his journey online. Everywhere he went, people connected with him. He realized something profound. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of clarity. People started asking him questions. How did you find hope again? How did you stop fearing failure? And he answered with simplicity, "I just kept moving, one small step at a time." Years later, Aarav stood on a stage. The same boy who once thought his life was over. He looked at the crowd and said, "I failed and it saved me, because that failure showed me who I truly am." The hall was silent. Everyone felt his pain, because it was their pain too. And that's the beauty of falling. When you rise again, you pull others with you. Chapter 6: The Message. My friend, if you're listening to this right now, remember, your story isn't over. You're not behind. You're just being rewritten. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're being prepared for something greater. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night, every rejection is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. So stop asking why me and start saying, try me. Have you ever thought, maybe this moment is a test? Maybe the pain is not here to punish, but to teach, to sharpen, to prepare you for the greatness ahead. Because every legend was once a broken human who refused to give up. Chapter 7: The Resurrection. Aarav's life didn't end with failure. It began there. He didn't chase success anymore. He built strength. He didn't fear falling again because he had learned how to rise. He helped others find their spark. He created a small community for people who felt lost, just like him. And today, his story is not just his. It belongs to everyone who's ever been told, you can't. Fall 7 times, rise 8. Because the fall was never your ending. It was your beginning. Thank you for watching. Now believe in yourself, go do it, and go out there and prove them wrong.